Okay, but I'm back, so it doesn't even matter where I've been or how long I was there. I'm here now. Moving on. It's Sequoia with the Chase Street Renaissance. In this video, I'm gonna start off with a story. Now, bear with me, stay with me. Don't laugh at me either because I'm being transparent. About a month ago, I had my first vendor market. I see it in my area, a friend sent it to me. I see, the advertisement on Facebook and I get in contact with them. I go to fill out the contract, the booth rent, it was like, $45 for an 8x8 space. And keep in mind that I'm in Altus, Oklahoma, very, very small town. Very, very small town. So I didn't really know what to expect, and I didn't really think that there would be much of a turnout, but I figured why the heck not, it would give me the experience, right? So I fill out the contract, I pay the $45, I'm like, okay. I start preparing, and I'm like, well, I'll just take all of my inventory. Whatever I have now is what I'll take. I get myself a square from Etsy, which was free, and I have fold-up tables. I went to Hobby Lobby, got some really nice tablecloths. And by tablecloth, I just went to Hobby Lobby and got some fabric. And that was good enough for me. I just needed some fabric. I didn't want to order or get a tablecloth, like an actual tablecloth, because I knew what my vision was kind of like. So I got the tablecloth. I got, a couple little doodad dillies for a display, things to sit on the table to elevate my candles and things like that. So I'm preparing for this vendor event. I get my Square reader. I download Square and get everything all set up and everything is hunky-dory. I get there and it's actually a lot of traffic. And I think I know what I'm doing with Square, but I ended up having to put in everyone's payment manually, which was fine. Nobody had an issue. People who brought cash were able to pay with cash, but everybody who wanted to pay with card, which was, I'd say it was probably about 50-50, I had to type their number in manually, so that was a bit stupid. Overall, it went well. I had a couple of people ask me how I got into candle making. People there were really interested in why I was doing what I was doing. And keep in mind, there was a Scentsy booth not 2 or 3 booths away from me. They had one of the larger spaces. So they were down there, and I knew they were down there. What was crazy was the woman who was running the Scentsy booth walked down as people were setting up, and she would walk down and she had kind of her hands behind her back, and she would walk down there almost like she was looking down her nose at you, like, just kind of seeing what everybody was setting up and things like that. I didn't pay any mind to her. I said, whatever, you know what, I'm here to do my thing. If I make one sale, I'll be happy. If I make one connect, I'll be happy. If I give my card away to one person, I'll be happy. So the day goes on. It started at around, I think setup was from like 8 to 10, and that was also to give the person who set it up a chance to set up their own booth. And it started at 10 and it went to 3. So I had 2 tables. I use purple jars, black jars, and white jars. It's the same jar, same size. They're just 3 different colors. So I do my floral and my purple. I do like my more fruity scents, coconuts and things like that in my white jars. And I do my manlier, muskier scents in my black jars. So I had all those options available. I had a couple of scents that you could probably call fall scents there, but I kept those separate. I did my white and my purple on one table, and then I did my kind of like my fall scents on the other table. So between the first event and the second event, which was yesterday, I lose my Square reader. I realized that I really can't find it about 2 days before. I'd say 3 days before yesterday's market. So I order one real quick on Amazon. Boom, it gets here in like a day or 2, right? No biggie. The day of yesterday morning, I'm packing everything. First of all, my dumbass decides to wake up and try to make 20 wax melts, because I said, you know what? Maybe I should have some wax melts to match the candles that I have, because I know that some people prefer wax melts. However, I don't sell a whole lot of wax melts on my website or just in general. I sell more candles than I do wax melts, but I said, you know what? This is a different environment. This is a different market, a different audience. Let me have some wax melts available. So I wake up, now mind you, I've been making candles for over a year at this point. So I know that you're not supposed to pour your wax extremely hot into the wax clam shell. I know this. My dumb ass did it anyway. So I'm rushing, I'm spilling wax everywhere, I'm dripping wax everywhere. One of them, which was like my marshmallow scent, is, you know, the clam shell starts to distort. So I'm like, well, I can't use those anyway. I'm labeling things last minute and blah, blah, blah. Now I realize I can't find my square reader that I just bought 3 days ago. So everybody's in the car's packed up, my husband's in the car, kids are in the car, they're waiting on me. I'm running around the house. At this point, now I'm getting hot. My underarms are starting to sweat. I'm stressed out, I'm starting to cuss. I can't find my square reader. Now I'm like, well, damn, now I'm gonna have to enter everything in manually again. And I hope I'm able to do these things without the reader by itself. And then I remember, yes, you can, because you didn't have it plugged in for the first event. So I get in the car, I said, you know what, screw it, I don't even care anymore. I get in the car. At this point, it's about 10:30, so I'm supposed to be there ideally at 8 o'clock. I mean, it's not mandatory. As long as you can be set up and ready by 10 o'clock, then you're fine. But I like to take my time and make sure and look at so I had a lot of candles, so I wanted to make sure that I set everything up the way I wanted to, because I was gonna be setting this stuff up on my own, because having my kids run around in the area just wasn't ideal. So I get there and I get set up, and my friend is in the booth right next to me. We planned it that way if one of us needed to go to the bathroom, we could watch the other one's space. So people are starting to come through, and the event has officially started. And I think I had gotten maybe 1 or 2 people instantly, boom. One person walked through, she already knew that I was gonna be there. She wanted her pumpkin candle, she came in, she got it, and that was it. Another person came through, and as I'm talking to her, as she's walking out, I happen to glance down in my chair, and I see my square reader in there. I was almost pissed off that I found it, but relieved, because now I plug it in and it's swiping. I don't know what the difference was between then and now, but I'm just happy I have my square reader now and I don't have to enter people's stuff in manually, because I think I had done 2 customers already manually and it was very annoying. So with all that being said, let's get into it. I'm gonna go a little bit quicker during the second half of this video, and we'll get right into 5 quick topics that I think that everybody should be aware of or have in the back of their mind when they're doing these vendor markets, or if they have one coming up. So I wrote them down so that I wouldn't start to babble. And so here we go. The first one is consider the possibilities. So that can mean anything, right? So consider the possibility that people are gonna pay cash. Do you have a money bag? Do you have a fanny pack? Do you have, I just found a money box on Amazon. My friend had one and I added it to my cart. I said, you know what, I'm gonna get one for the next one. That way it's almost like a mini register. So consider that people are not gonna be doing card, but then also consider that people are gonna be wanting to charge their card. So have some sort of square reader or some form of payment where you can swipe or tap or insert a chip with someone's card. Also, when it comes to the money, make sure you have change to give people. If someone gives you a $50 bill to pay for a candle that you may have priced at $23 or something like that, in my case, my candles are priced at $28.99. Do I have change for those people? So make sure you consider that too. You want to be able to make the sale and make the sale go as smooth as possible. You don't want someone standing around too long waiting for change because, you know, you're not prepared. The second one is keep your display organized and free of confusion. I walked around a couple times and I couldn't really tell what people were selling. I know that sounds bad, but if another vendor is confused, you can imagine if you have repeat customers and they already know what your business is about or what your craft is about, then that's fine. But if you have people that have never met you before, never seen you before, never been here before, then that could potentially make you lose a sale if they just straight up don't know what you have on your table. Like, what is this? It is something that maybe certain people would ask a question, but then other people are kind of be like, oh, this is like walking into Forever 21. I don't even want to deal with it. And I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't go there. Also, with keeping your display organized, you want to make sure that you don't confuse yourself. So since I had 2 tables, I kept my fall collection on one table. Sorry, my fall collection and my wax melts on one table, and then my summer scents on another table. My summer and kind of like my lower price things on another table. That way, if someone wanted to know what was priced where, I didn't have to go through this is this and this is this and this is this. It's easy for you to remember this. Everything on this table is $27.99. Everything on this table is $28.99. These wax melts here are this price and these wax melts here are this price. So it was very easy for people to understand and follow kind of the flow of the table. So make sure that when you're setting up, it's easy not only for you, but for your customer. So the third one is offering free gifts or some sort of incentive. So I offered, if you bought 2 or more candles, you got 15% off. You also got a free wick snuffer if you purchased any one candle. So that was kind of my way in. Once they hear that they're getting a percentage off, they're more inclined to try to activate that discount. So I did have quite a few sales where people bought more than one candle because they wanted to activate that discount and also get, you know, something for free. So just keep that in mind. You want some sort of incentive, especially if you're new there, this is your first time, you're not a regular, and people are just kind of like, you can tell they're interested. You just need something to reel them in, and that's okay. You're still gonna profit in some form or fashion. The fourth one is be respectful and stand up when people come through. I did have a chair there, and I did sit down when I could, but when people walked by, if they stared in my direction for more than like 2 or 3 seconds, I stood up and I spoke to them first. Hey, how's it going? Feel free to snip. Like, make them come to you. Let them know, hey, I see you and I can tell that you're interested, so get up here because you're gonna fall in love. So I think that's a kind of one of the big reasons that a lot of people ended up coming up there. And a lot of people would come up there, sniff a bit. I would explain to them my prices, and this is what you get if you do this. And then they would say, let me think about it. And normally when people say, let me think about it, and they leave, you don't assume that they're gonna come back. Pretty much everybody that left and said, let me think about it, came back. I also had someone who purchased something and then went to go grab their sister and then came back, and she purchased something. So it's just all about your demeanor when people are in your space, especially if it's more of a business and not just a craft anymore. If it's just a craft, then do you, and you know you're not really too concerned on if you're getting too many sales and you're just having fun, then that's fine. But for me, this is my business. This is what I'm trying to grow. So I'm gonna stand up and be respectful and speak to people first before I potentially lose that sale. The last one, and I won't say most important, but I would say one of the top-notch ones. Know your stuff. Know your products. Be able to explain to somebody, if you are a paraffin user, be able to explain to somebody why paraffin is okay in your mind. Be able to explain to someone why soy is okay in your mind. And I say in your mind because I know that there's a lot of controversy between the whole soy thing and the paraffin thing and blah, blah, blah. I actually love all waxes. I don't have an issue with paraffin. First of all, I knew that coconut apricot wax had paraffin in it when I bought it the first time. I don't care. I'm not a paraffin hater. I'm not a soy hater. I hate wax that doesn't hold scent. That's my issue. So what I would explain to people is coconut apricot wax does have a small amount of food grade paraffin in it. However, paraffin is not something that I would be too worried about. I would be more worried about the oils that are in it. Does my oil have phthalate? Does my oil have, other potential harmful chemicals in it that are not necessary for a great smelling candle? What is phthalate? Phthalate is the chemical that they put in plastic to make it last longer. Be able to explain these things to your customers. They like when you're knowledgeable about what you're selling. To be honest, do they really care? Are they gonna come up there and ask you, hey, does this have phthalate in it? Probably not. But if you do get someone who seems like they're kind of on the fence about it, or someone who may be sensitive to certain smells and things like that, be able to point them in the right direction. If, stronger scents give you a headache, I would recommend this one. This is a lighter scent. I would recommend burning it in smaller spaces. So it just all around is better when you know your stuff and you can sell your product, basically. Also, I will say, most people asked me if my candles were soy. So a lot of people don't really know that there are other waxes out there. At least this is just what I'm noticing in this small town. People always assume that a candle, first of all, they probably don't know what a candle is made of in Walmart or in Bed Bath & Beyond or wherever they're getting their candles. So they either assume it's soy or they don't know. So when I told them it was coconut apricot wax, I got a couple of those looks like, what is that? So be able to explain to them a little bit more about your product. That took way longer than I thought it was gonna take. It took way longer than I wanted it to, but overall, vendor markets are exciting. They get you business. You may make one sale, you may make 100 sales, you may make no sales. Just for a little inspiration, my first market ever was a month ago. I made over $400. That was with the 15% off, 2 candles or more. This event that I did yesterday, I made over 700. So just keep in mind that it doesn't really matter where you are in your business as far as your sales online or your Etsy or anything like that. Do your best to make yourself shine when you have the opportunity, and I swear you'll see positive results. I had no clue it was going to turn out like that, and it's a confidence booster. It makes me want to keep going, it makes me want to do more. So I have another one coming up in November around here. I heard that one is actually really big, so I'm excited to do that one, and I will check back in with you guys after that one. Hopefully I can get some more videos up more consistently because I suck. All right, I gotta go. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't take me another 4 or 6 months. I don't know when my last video was, but hopefully it's not that long before I can get another one up there. So thanks for hanging in there with me, and I will see you guys in the next one.